Time to continue our coverage for Saluki basketball this summer and Summer Access of 2025. Everybody's been waiting for this guy. I mean, he brings the viewership, listenership, all kinds of attention. Luke Walsh, freshman. How's the summer been?
It's been awesome. Came in super excited, but it's definitely been a new journey for me. Obviously, my dad's coached me my whole life, so hearing new voices and stuff, it's been hard at times, but it's also been very fun. We got a great group of guys, and I've never really meshed with a group of guys like this since for AAU, high school. It's been fantastic.
Look, there's always going to be an adjustment period, right, when you get here. One, because of, as you said, you've heard a common voice for such a long time with your dad as your coach. But take the fans through a little bit of what the learning process was like for you these first couple of weeks in the summer.
Yeah, so like you guys have probably heard in the interviews, we played the first 3 days, and, I was real uptight, nervous, just because it was the first time playing with all these guys. Coach Nagy's there, watching everything, every single coach. So I did struggle, it was definitely a hard time for me, but I feel like I've used that and grown from it, reflected on it, see where I could do better, watch a lot of film because it's all recorded. And to me, I was more upset about making and missing shots. And Coach Nagy finally said, no one cares if you're making or missing shots. We know you can shoot. We recruit you to shoot. Do the little things that you've always done, like competing, being the first one on the floor. And once I started to do that, getting on the floor, everything's changed. Just my competitive nature has started to come back. I feel like it's elevated practices, and everyone's just keeps elevating each other because we're so competitive.
We could see just almost the emotion on you those early weeks of, especially when a shot would finally go in. I think there was one maybe to win a game at one point, and you could see the emotion. It was like, man, that's a little bit of stress off the shoulders.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure it was in like the left corner, and you guys were sitting there, and I was like, whew, finally. And coach was like, why are you worried about it? Tell the guy it was a great pass. I was like, exactly. So it's just little things like that I'm always learning from. He always sees the bigger picture when I'm focused more. Those first 3 days, I was honestly focused on myself.
Look, you live here. I mean, this is what you do. You don't just like it. You don't just love it. You truly live this thing, Luke. Now you've been able to live it for pretty much 4 full weeks. What's been the biggest enjoyment of being a college player?
Honestly, just being able to get in the gym with guys that I didn't know 4 weeks ago. Yeah, we knew each other on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, but like my roommates, Daniel and Jalen, we've gone so close. Like, we do everything together. Like, one of us gets up in the morning to go to the gym. We're waking each other up. We're coming up here at 8 o'clock because we're bored sitting in our rooms. We make each other come. And that's what I've enjoyed the most because, high school is different. You might go to the gym by yourself. Some guys don't want to do it. Everyone on this team wants to win, and we all know what it takes. So the more we can push ourselves and each other, it's just what's going to elevate it. And I've really enjoyed being able to get in the gym with guys that I didn't know.
Can you help Jalen with his TikTok dances from time to time?
We like to have fun. He likes to troll a lot. I like to have fun too. And then Daniel's just kind of the more quiet kid sitting there, like, having fun. But Jalen, he's a funny guy. I love him. But yeah, I can help him out with his TikTok dances.
What I talk about this with Coach Mayman, and it comes out in his interview as well, is seeing you guys, and when I say you guys, I'm referring to you, Jalen, and Daniel. You can just see that you guys are freshmen. And I'm not even alluding to, like, on the court. Like, the joy you guys have of, like, this is awesome. Like, we're in college. We get this opportunity to continue to play. Like, what does this mean to you, Luke? I mean, I know I kind of asked you that question similar in other interviews, but now that you've been here, like, there is a ton of joy and genuine connectivity that you guys show, not just together as freshmen, but with this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's like for all of us, honestly, we've talked. The reason we came here is because every single one of these coaches believed in us. And obviously we had different opportunities and different routes that we could have taken, but these coaches were on us every day telling us what we would mean to them. So for us, when we came on here, it's our job to make this place better than it was. Whether that's from last year, the year before that, we just want to keep elevating the program. And yeah, like you said, we've had a lot of joy the first 4 weeks. Obviously, this last week starting to get to a little bit of like, okay, a couple more days to get a break and regroup. But the first 2 weeks, Prince even told us, he was like, you guys better keep that energy week 16 because this is your first go-around. And we're all excited, laughing, giggling, super pumped up. And we're like, all right, like we're going to take that up. So we've all stuck to that so far, keeping the energy up. So hopefully we can get to week 16 and keep the same energy.
You brought up Prince. There are many experienced guys on this roster, some with experience here, others like Prince experience elsewhere. When you've had time to sit and talk to them in the locker room, learn from them within drills and practice times, what have you already as a young freshman learned from him that you're trying to adapt to?
He's a great leader, first of all. Like, he sees something during practice, he knows not to say it right when coach is talking. When we're done, when we're breaking down, he'll say something or let us know. But what I've really respected him for is he's always trying to help me. Like last week, I was kind of going through a little stretch, wasn't playing great. The team had a bad practice, and we saw each other when we were walking into the apartments, and we stopped and had a 15-minute conversation. And guys that have transferred from big schools and come here, they still want to prove to people who they are. And most of the times, those guys are the guy, and they don't care about anyone else but themselves. And that's the total opposite of him. He's genuinely cares for you and wants you to succeed.
What's impressed you about Isaiah Stafford in terms of, look, he's a guy that has a big chip on his shoulder. He wants to show that he's an even better version of what he's already shown in the league. But again, a guy who's been around the block. You guys have really called him the vet, other things around. What's he shown you?
So he's taught me a lot already. It's actually funny you bring him up because when he first committed, me and my dad were talking, and he was the first one that was like, he's going to be a great person for you to look up to. And ever since I've got here, I've watched what he does every day, his rehab, the way he shoots, his workouts, how hard he works. And for me, this is his 5th year, if I'm correct, and he's been doing it for such a long time, and he's produced, and he does everything right, whether that's defense, offensively, talking. He's always in the right positions. So I've just been trying to watch him, even when I'm not on the court and I'm watching, just trying to learn from him and pick up different things because he's been doing it for such a long time. He's been so successful. But, yeah, that's my unk.
A lot of it falls on your experiences, Luke, of you've been coached hard for a long time from your dad. So a lot of those are rooted deep. But, look, there's been no doubt some things you've had to overcome already this summer, but you've handled that failure, I believe, in a really good way. What has allowed you to confront that and, whether it's going one-on-one with Drew at times, Mayo, whomever, where, hey, there may be some times where you feel a little bit overmatched, but you find a way to still find that competitive gene?
Yeah, I mean, my whole life, people have tried to come at me. I've always been like the skinny white guy that people want to come at, and I don't blame them. Like, they're trying to win, I'm trying to win. But when I do take up those challenges with Drew, Mayo, guys who have done it for a while, Isaiah, Q, all of them, I'm trying to show Coach that it doesn't matter who I'm going up against. I want to win, I want to compete, and I want to do everything to help the team win. So when I go up against them, if they score, they score. Obviously, my mindset's not to let them score, but I'm just trying to get better every day because if I'm going out there and not trying to find the best competition, I'm not going to get better. And hopefully doing this now will help me down the line later in my career.
Drew has been someone I know you've been very close to from the recruiting process and staying connected. You've now, of course, been a teammate of his here in the summer. How has your bond continued to get closer?
He's a great guy, he's funny, competitive, talks a lot of crap. Yeah. Similar to me. I haven't shown it as much yet this summer, but, like when they had fights on a couple weekends ago, he had the whole team over. Little stuff like that, like we've all came together, and he's been one of the main guys to do that. And he's always stayed connected with me, always checking in, making sure I'm all right. But to me, his game's elevated so much since I watched him last year. And I went to a decent amount of games last year. Just his confidence, you can tell he's used to coach. He's used to the system. Defensively, he looks a lot better. And he's shooting it. He's not thinking anything. He knows it's going in because he's used to when he's getting shots, how he's going to get it off. So I think he's going to have an amazing year.
How helpful has someone been like Damen Mayo?
He's a dog, first of all. But he's helped me a ton, So he's from St. Louis, so they're always making jokes about us St. Louis boys, and you got the Dallas and Texas boys and all that. But he's a competitor. I used to sit on my dad's bench when I was growing up, and his 3 years at Chaminade, they beat Vianney every year, and he was the main reason that they had a great team. Obviously, a lot of high recruits, but the one thing that I always saw was how competitive he was and how he never wanted to lose. So he's continued to show that every single year he's played, and he's a great guy to have on the floor because he might not score 30. He might give you 10 and 10, and you're going to win, and he's just as happy as if he scored 30 and they lost. Because you know how some people are happy about that. He would never be happy about that. He just wants to win. He'll do anything to win.
Are you okay that he says that he claims he's got the STL crown?
I don't think so. I don't think so. They had a stacked team, and he never beat me. So I always tell him, you can go tell my dad that you never lost to him. And my dad would be like, yeah, you guys had a great team. I was just trying to coach against you, stop you. But he never beat me, so I don't know where he gets that information from because he never beat me.
We've talked, of course, about Mayo and Steffi and guys that are returning. You know, there's 6 of those guys who you saw play last year who are now back. What have you done to lean on them? Because you know, hey, they've been through a full season within the Valley. They've been through a full season with this staff. What have those guys as a group helped you in understanding what maybe is most important this summer?
Definitely just taking the practices as serious. Like, you know, you can come in and you can get by practice. But if we come in every day with the same energy intensity that they have, and we saw that day one, we're going to continue to get a lot better and be one of the best teams in the Valley. So especially for me, what I've taken away from them is every day they come in, even though they're still learning, they have a feel for what we're going to do. So I'm always trying to learn from them, like, hey, if he goes here, what does Coach want us to do here? Little things that maybe we're not working on specifically then, but things that I know so that when we do it, I'm ahead of the game.
You brought up how when Drew had you guys over for the UFC fights and some of those things off the floor that really show the connectivity. But has there been anything within practices where, I don't know if it's a specific moment, but has there been a time period or a day, Luke, that comes to mind for you where you're like, I like where this is going? Like this isn't just talk, hearsay. Like we all really, truly enjoy being around one another.
What I would say is defensive practices. Like, you know me, I'm an offensive guy. I love offense, love shooting threes, and this team's going to be really good offensively. But what stood out to me is we come in every day knowing when we do team workouts that it's defense, and not one person's complaining. We're all ready to go. And for me, like watching last year, obviously we had really good players, but there just wasn't that, it.
Yeah.
And I feel like this team has that. And it's not just because we're doing defensive practices. It's because every day we get on the floor and we do those practices, it's competitive. People are talking. People are running their mouths at each other. And not in a bad way. When we get into the locker room, it's all fun and games. We joke around like, hey, why would you even say that? That didn't make any sense. Like, what are you talking about? But that's like what winning teams do. You're able to compete and talk on the floor, but right when you step off, you're able to transition and be great friends and care for each other. And that's really what stood out to me.
What's the biggest challenge, the biggest wall that you run into as a freshman of the defensive side? Because as you said, your workouts have been 90% plus defensive focused. What's been kind of a hurdle, a wall that you've had to run into and overcome?
I thought at first physicality, but I feel like I've gotten a lot better with that, knowing when to wall up, when to sit down, stuff like that. But for me, it's just mental. Like, there's so many things thrown at you when you first get here. It's like you're reading a new playbook for the first time and you're trying to learn everything. So for me, it's just been mental, like I'm thinking like, all right, if we're in this ball screen coverage, then where do I go after? When you just do that instant, like you just do it naturally, the guys that have come back, they just know what to do. So for me, it's just been like the mental side of things, trying not to overthink, just playing hard, doing things the right way, and just trusting myself. Because at the end of the day, when we go to the game, yeah, coach might want us in the ball screen coverage, but we might mess it up. What are you going to do then? So just getting over that mental hump of, next play mentality and just trusting myself.
This interview, of course, is coming out over break when you guys are gone. Look, it's a break, and you no doubt want to take advantage of it. I know you're going to be in the gym still because that's exactly what Luke Walsh does. He does it each and every day. But how will you communicate, especially to even – not to just everybody, but even guys like Daniel, Jalen, you can tell you guys have made a lot of strides. Even though you're in your freshman year, you've improved so much. To make sure that week off, there's not much of a drop when you come back. You want to continue to show that level of improvement that you guys have already shown through 4 weeks.
Obviously, I know they're both going to get in the gym, so I'm not worried about that. But just staying connected to the team, because I also feel like that's why we've taken strides, like getting close with everyone, because they trust us, we trust them. That elevates your game. So if we go a week without talking to anyone because we're scared to reach out, then obviously we're going to come in kind of like week 1, week 2, feeling like, dude, am I supposed to be out here? Stuff like that. So just staying connected to the guys because they're all here for us, and we care for them. They care for us, and they're great guys.
You've been around winning teams, Luke. And, yes, you've been a focal point and a center focus of that. But as this thing continues to build, and granted you're in your freshman year, but you've watched basketball for a long time, what has encouraged you most about what you have seen on the floor when you guys get the opportunity to play against each other, 5-on-5, whatever, in terms of the versatility of the group?
So what I've told a lot of people, like just family members and stuff, when they're asking about us, is like anyone can get hot. It's super weird. I've never played with a team like that. Like normally there's a ball-dominant player that will go for 20 points a game, and it's just consistent. There's been multiple guys that have stepped up, like Zay, Q, Drew, Davion's had big stretches, Rollins, Prince, even basically everyone that's been out there has had a day where you're like, dang, he had 14 points in 5 games that we're playing to 7-2. Like, I didn't think that would happen. So that's what I think really makes us versatile, and also just like we can go small and we can go big. So we have a lot of athletic bigs, Max, Davion, Jorge, Rilo, Daniel, just down the line you can keep going. And if we're able to do that against teams that want to try to play chess games with us, I think it's going to be really helpful. And then we can also go small and play really fast. But even the bigs, they're running really well right now, so we can play really fast, get open shots, quick shots, and then be able to set our defense.
Zay in his interview said, Luke, it's not going to take long for Kelron Q to rise to the top of scouting reports, which to me, a guy who has played college basketball as long as he has, that's a really strong statement. You as a freshman who's coming into this, what have you seen from Q, and more so, what have you tried to pick his brain on as well when you've seen him in practice?
Yeah, he pushes me every day. He's kind of like a bully to me right now. So I'm still trying to learn from him, but in a good way. Like, I'm not saying that like he's a bad guy. He's always trying to push me. For me, it's just like the way he changes directions and his speed. Like, I've never seen anything like it before. He finishes, he shoots it good, and yeah, I agree with Zay. He's going to be at the top of the scouting report. He's a phenomenal player.
Luke, as you look forward to the rest of the summer, again, you never want to wish time away, but just what's top of mind for you of just what you're most anxious about getting back with the guys and finishing this summer strong?
I just want to keep improving. I've always said continuous improvement, something that I stuck to. So these first 4 weeks are over on Friday. What am I going to do better the next 4 weeks to be better and improve? So for me, it might just be on the defensive side. It might be my passing, little things like that, just to be better. So when it comes to season time, coaches can trust me, and we can go out and win ball games.
Now, I know you've told me this, and it's bad that I can't remember the exact details, but I have heard that Grandma Walsh is a big fan of the interview, so I'm sure she deserves a shout-out here towards you.
Hi, Grandma. She'll probably be listening. Yeah, she listens to all of them. She's
And she wants you to really just give a little bit more detail, just to make sure that I'm asking the right questions, and she just wants to be like, hey, we share the same name, but she wants to go through to make sure her grandson, like, is this Luke Martin saying the right stuff?
She'll probably get on me for like eye contact or something. She'll probably give me a call when it's out.
That is the best thing about grandmas.
Yes.
They keep us in line. Luke, appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Once again, that was Luke Walsh. We're in the middle of the 4th of July week. We hope everybody has a great holiday. We'll have continued coverage here for Saluki basketball here in Summer Access 2025.